So let's continue our second part of Blackbeard versus Luffy's crew. If you haven't watched our first video, please first watch that video, then come to this video. For the starters of this video, let's compare Chopper versus Doc Q. This fight is what happens when you mix a kid's cartoon mascot and a death incarnate. Chopper, the adorable reindeer who's also a doctor and occasionally a monster. Dr. Q, the Grim Reaper, if he decides to cosplay as a dying man 24/7. Doc Q is really terrifying. He spreads disease, rides a sick horse, and probably smells like an expired medicine. Chopper, he cures disease, rides on the sunny, and probably smells like a cotton candy. On surface, Dr. Q seems like a winner. His virus could wipe out an army, but here's the problem: Chopper is a doctor. You can't win a biological warfare match against a guy who can cure your condition before you even finish your evil laugh. And don't forget Dr. Q's biggest weakness. This man is so fragile, a strong breeze could take him out. Now let's compare Franky with Wolf. Franky, the shipwrighter who turned himself into a walking battleship, and Wolf, he's just a guy who hit the grow button too many times. Wolf's size is his main weapon. He can step on towns, block harbors, and probably need a continent for a bed. Franky's main weapon? Literally everything. He has every weapon. Shoulder cannons, laser beam, a giant robot suit. You just name it, he have it. Now here's the thing. Wolf is massive but slow. If speed kills, this man is immortal. Franky, he's a cyborg with a built-in cola engine. That means unlimited energy, assuming the fight is next to a vending machine. And in a battle, Franky would shred Wolf like he's making a giant-sized sushi. You can't just be big in one piece, you have to be useful big. Wolf's basically a floating target with a high blood pressure. Now some Blackbeard fans will say, but Wolf could just crush Franky with one step. Yeah, the second he tries, Franky already in the air, yelling and blasting a laser straight up to his nose. Now let's compare Robin versus Laffy. Robin, the devil's child, master of history, and the only person in the series who can break your neck without moving from her chair. Laffy, the creepy ex-sheriff who talks like he is auditioning for a vampire movie and can hypnotize people into submission. Laffy's hypnosis is dangerous. One glance and he could turn allies against each other. Robin, she doesn't even need to be near you. She can snap you like a glow stick from across the room. Here's the funny part. Laffy tries to act classy, mysterious, but he's basically a weird uncle with a cane. Robin on the other end survived the world government, CP9, life as an outlaw since childhood. Hypnosis doesn't scare someone whose entire life has been a nightmare. If Laffy tries to mid tricks, Robin could just sprout an arm over his eyes to block his sight. Then before he even finished his creepy monologue, crack, game over. And remember, Robin doesn't do flashy. She will win, fix her hair, and go back to reading. While Laffy's crew is still wondering why their vice captain folding like a laundry. Now let's compare Brook and Shiryu. Brook, the living skeleton who plays soul music, frees his enemy with a swing of his cane sword and still manages to pull off a killer afro. Shiryu, ex-warden of Impel Down, now Blackbeard's right-hand man, who got the Suke Nami so he can turn invisible and immediately use it for stabbing people in the back. Now here's the thing. Shiryu's whole I can vanish and strike from nowhere is actually scary if you're fighting a someone normal person. Brook, his soul can literally leave his body. Invisibility doesn't mean much when your opponent can just hop out of a skeleton and see you from another dimension. Plus, Brook's Yomi Nomi powers can freeze your very soul. So even if Shiryu manages to sneak up on him, one note of 3 words humming, arrow notch slash, Shiryu's lying on the floor, wondering why his heart felt like it's in a freezer. And let's be honest, Shiryu is just Zoro without the training arc. Brook, he's plus Zoro, a concrete tour. Now let's just compare crew versus crew. Here's the truth. The Blackbeard Pirates looked dangerous until you remember half their fights rely on cheap tricks, sneak attacks, or just being massive and scary. Straw Hats, every single member has fought through life or death arcs and gotten stronger from it. If these crew clash, it won't just be a win for the Straw Hats, it will be a public service announcement. Kids, this is why you train and don't skip leg days. And yes, I know some of you will say, but Blackbeard has 2 devil fruits. Yeah, that's great for him, but one day he's gonna wake up and realize it's not about how many powers you have, it's about how crazy enough to fight for their dreams. And the Straw Hats are insane.